in a moment like this, I think that lesson learned.
Yes, but you can know something, but hearing it from somebody else make it probably hit a little different.
You think somehow me going to talk to him about something is going to be a wake-up call? I think it's a tough situation to even be suspected of a DUI.
You ever watch a moment on reality TV that hits so hard it doesn't even feel like entertainment anymore? Like something about it feels too real, too personal, almost uncomfortable to sit through. Because that's exactly what happened when Marsau Scott found himself at the center of a storm that nobody saw coming. What started as a tense but normal conversation suddenly turned into something explosive, something loud, something that left fans frozen in disbelief. And at the heart of it all was Kimmi. Calm, composed Kimmi being pulled into a moment that many viewers are now calling one of the most disturbing emotional clashes in the show's history.
Normally, in most of our situations, I tend to read a lot more into the situation than sometimes is necessary. And then there's some times where I think he might be thinking about a situation, but yet he don't really say it on the outside. However, at the end of the day, I'm there for him when he needs me. He's there for me when I need him.
But here's the twist. It wasn't just what Marsau said. It was how he said it. The volume, the tone, the way her mental health became part of a heated outburst. And the second that moment aired, everything changed. Fans didn't just react, they erupted. Social media lit up with opinions, anger, disappointment, and one big question. Did Marsau cross a line that can't be undone? And trust me, what happened behind the scenes and the way this situation unfolded afterward only made things worse. Because this story, it's not just about shouting. It's about respect, boundaries, and what happens when someone's vulnerability gets dragged into the spotlight in the worst way possible. To understand why this moment hits so deeply, you have to go back and look at who these people are, not just as reality TV personalities, but as real individuals with real lives layered behind the cameras.
Friends dating a dude, and I met this dude through my friend. I'm not gonna go secretly marry him, then try to tell her later.
Secretly?
When me and Marsau first started dating, I asked all my friends, did he try to holler at any of y'all? Because I'm like, if he did,
Well, didn't you
it's a
date
wrap.
one of his friends when
I
you guys
never
first
dated,
met?
No, I didn't,
Oh, okay.
never. Anything
That's
else
not
you
what
want to
I
know
heard.
about me and my past?
I'm just saying that's not what I heard.
I never dated one of his friends.
I'm coming for you, but you sitting
lied
here
and
just
said,
trifling
did
in
you?
this.
Because I feel
That's
like it's
coming
a
for
trifling
me.
situation,
Okay,
son.
Marsau Scott has always carried a certain presence on the show. Confident, opinionated, sometimes even stubborn. He's the kind of person who doesn't hold back, someone who speaks his mind whether people are ready to hear it or not. Over the seasons, fans have watched him navigate business, marriage, friendships, and yes, conflict. He's never been one to stay quiet, and for some viewers, that boldness was part of his appeal. But at the same time, that same trait has also brought criticism, because there's a thin line between being honest and being harsh. And Marsau has, more than once, been accused of stepping over that line without realizing it, or worse, without caring. Now, Kimmi, on the other hand, brings a completely different energy. She's not loud, she's not confrontational. She moves with a quiet strength that fans have come to respect over time. Her journey hasn't been easy, physically, emotionally, or mentally. She's faced serious health challenges, personal struggles, and moments that would have broken a lot of people. But through it all, she's stayed grounded, composed, strong in a way that doesn't need to be announced. And that's maybe why people feel so protective of her. Because when someone like Kimmi opens up, even just a little, it means something. It's not for attention, it's not for drama, it's real. And that's exactly what made this situation so heavy.
What I realized, all right? When the stories don't line up, you don't got all the information. You're giving this guy that doesn't want to be emotional, this guy that doesn't want to be affected by losing his family. And the truth is, all I see is a guy who's in love and lost the love of his life and his family. So please, if you want a level of respect to exchange both ways, do me this favor, all right? You can say I'd rather not say, hey, that's none of your business, but a bald-faced lie to me, all right?
What's the lie?
The cast dynamic has always been layered, relationships overlapping, tensions simmering just beneath the surface, alliances shifting quietly over time. On the outside, everything can look controlled, polished, but underneath, emotions are always building, and sometimes it only takes one moment for everything to crack. That moment came during what was supposed to be a conversation, maybe even a necessary one. Nothing about it looked explosive at first. No shouting, no chaos, just a discussion that slowly started to heat up. But here's where everything changed. What nobody expected was how quickly Marsau's tone shifted. At first, it was just firmness, a little edge in his voice, the kind of tension viewers are used to seeing on the show. But then, something snapped. His voice got louder, sharper, more aggressive, and suddenly, the conversation wasn't a conversation anymore. It was an attack. And then came the words that made everything stop. He brought Kimmi's mental health into it, not gently, not carefully, but loudly, publicly, in a way that felt like it wasn't meant to understand her, but to make a point.
You mentioned depression, and people are talking about, oh my God, it's a bad problem running rampant. And here's the reason why it's running rampant, right? It's because we don't know what it really is.
You could feel the shift instantly. The energy in the room changed. The air got heavy, and if you were watching closely, you could see it on Kimmi's face, that quiet moment where everything inside her just paused. Because it wasn't just what he said, it was how exposed it made her feel. Mental health isn't something she throws around casually. It's not a storyline for her. It's personal. It's something she's carried with dignity, something she shared in her own time, in her own way. And in that moment, it felt like that control was taken away from her. And the worst part, Marsau didn't pull back. He didn't stop to soften his words. He didn't catch himself mid-sentence. If anything, he leaned into it, louder, more forceful, as if the intensity of his voice would somehow make his point stronger. But instead, it did the opposite. It made people uncomfortable. Viewers weren't just watching drama anymore. They were watching someone's vulnerability being handled without care. And the reaction? Immediate. Social media didn't wait. It didn't hesitate. The clip spread fast, and within minutes, fans were voicing exactly what they felt. Some were shocked, others were angry, and a lot of people were deeply disappointed. Because this wasn't about disagreement. People disagree all the time on reality TV. That's part of what keeps it interesting. But this felt different. This felt personal. One viewer wrote, "There's a difference between arguing and crossing a line, and he crossed it." Another said, "You don't use someone's mental health as a weapon in a heated moment, ever." And honestly, that's where the conversation really started, because people weren't just reacting to Marsau's volume, they were reacting to the meaning behind his words. Now, of course, there were some who defended him. They argued that he was just being honest, that emotions were high, that sometimes people say things they don't mean in the heat of the moment. But even among those voices, there was hesitation, because deep down, everyone could see the same thing. That moment didn't feel like a slip. It felt intentional, and that's what made it hard to ignore. But here's where things took an even more unexpected turn. Instead of addressing the backlash right away, Marsau stayed quiet. No immediate apology, no clarification, no attempt to ease the tension that was building online. And that silence, it spoke volumes. Because while fans were replaying the clip, analyzing every word, trying to understand how things escalated so quickly, the lack of response only made it feel heavier. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, things weren't exactly calm either. Word started to spread that some cast members were uncomfortable with what happened, not just because of how it looked on camera, but because of how it felt in the moment. There's a difference between TV drama and real-life discomfort, and according to people close to the situation, this leaned toward the latter. Some reportedly felt that Kimmi deserved better in that moment. Others questioned whether Marsau had gone too far, even for reality TV standards. And here's the part nobody really talks about enough. Moments like this don't just disappear when the cameras stop rolling. They linger. They affect how people interact afterward. They create distance where there used to be comfort. They make conversations more careful, more guarded. And for Kimmi, that impact was real. Because when the episode aired and the world saw what happened, she had to relive it all over again. Not privately, but publicly. Imagine opening up about something personal, something tied to your mental and emotional well-being, and then seeing it become part of a viral moment. Not because it was handled with care, but because it was shouted. That's not something you just brush off. And true to who she is, Kimmi didn't jump online to attack or respond with anger. She didn't turn it into a back-and-forth situation. She stayed quiet. But silence doesn't mean something didn't hurt. People close to her say she took time to process everything, to step back emotionally, to protect her peace in a situation that clearly shook her. Because here's the truth. When someone you know, someone within your circle, handles your vulnerability in a careless way, it changes how you see them. It creates a distance that's hard to close. And even if things move forward on the surface, something underneath is never quite the same again. That's the emotional weight this moment carried, not just for Kimmi, but for viewers who saw themselves in her.
Because let's be real, this isn't just about reality TV. This is something people experience every day. Opening up to someone, trusting them with something personal, and then feeling dismissed, or worse, exposed. That's why this situation hit so deeply, because it wasn't just entertainment, it was relatable in a way that made people uncomfortable. It reminded them of moments where they felt unheard, moments where their feelings were minimized, moments where someone raised their voice instead of offering understanding. And that's why the conversation around this hasn't faded. If anything, it's grown. People are asking bigger questions now about respect, about emotional boundaries, about what accountability should look like in situations like this. Because at the end of the day, it's not about perfection. Nobody expects people to handle every situation flawlessly. Emotions happen, mistakes happen, but what matters is what comes after. Reflection, acknowledgement, growth. And right now, that's the part people are still waiting to see. Will Marsau take a step back and truly understand why this moment affected so many people? Will he recognize that it wasn't just about raising his voice, but about what he chose to say in that moment? Or will he stand firm, believing that the reaction is bigger than the situation itself? And where does that leave his relationship with Kimmi? Because even if things appear normal on the surface, trust doesn't rebuild overnight. Respect doesn't reset with time alone. It takes effort. It takes understanding. And most importantly, it takes accountability. What happened in that moment didn't just create noise. It created a shift in how fans see Marsau, in how people connect with Kimmi, in how the show itself is being discussed moving forward. Because now, every interaction carries a little more weight. Every conversation feels a little more layered, and every viewer is watching a little more closely. So the real question isn't just what happened, it's what happens next. Because moments like this don't just fade into the background, they become turning points. And whether that turning point leads to growth or deeper division, that's a story that's still unfolding.